I always record after that piece. I do that piece for the people who come on the throne room group, so I don't put it in the recording when I upload it. I have to apologize to you. I completely forgot to upload last week's throne room group. I'll still find someone to blame for that. Can't be me. Definitely not. Alrighty then. Okay, so you can position yourself. I hope you're comfortable. I hope you got your frankincense here under your noses. And so if you will close your eyes. And I just want you to breathe in deep from the bottom of your stomach, your diaphragm up and out through your mouth. And just do that a couple of times. I want you to imagine Yahweh standing in front of you. And as you breathe, you're breathing in His breath and you breathe your breath out into Him. You breathe in and you breathe your breath out into Him. As you are breathing in and out, I want you to start sensing a separation of your spirit moving and becoming more aware of the spirit realm as the physical realm starts to move away and becomes distant. Continue to breathe in the breath of God. Because in that breath is embedded the engagement that we are stepping into. I want you to see the cross in front of you, and the cross is our access point. As the cross is in front of you, I want you to see the blood of Jesus like a veil, and the cross is the gateway into the next. I just want you to move closer to the cross. I want you to step through the cross. I want you to feel the veil of the blood just move over your body as you step through the cross. As you step through the cross, I want you to just picture and see that anything here is now behind you. You've stepped into a different realm. And just be aware of your spirit man being drawn deeper and deeper and deeper into the heavenlies. want you to picture in front of you a circle in a circle in a circle. So you are looking deeper into the spirit realm. It's like a concertina or portal. And I want you to go in there. I want you to step into those circles, and you are going to walk into the realms of each of the Hebrew letters that we've covered. So I want you to see, firstly, I want you to see Lamed standing in front of you, and I want you to walk through Lamed. As you walk through Lamed, you walk through Kaf. And each one is a realm being embedded into your spirit. I want you to step into the Yod and then see it being embedded in your spirit. Step into Tet, step into Chet, step into Zayin, step into Vav. And as you step through each letter, I want you to just be aware of a realm opening up in your spirit as you go deeper. I want you to step through Hey. If you don't know these letters, then just you stepping through a circle, a realm. Step through Dalet. Step through Gimel. Step through Bet. Now don't step through Aleph yet. In front of you, I want you to see the first Hebrew letter, Aleph. When we step through there, we are going to step into the realm of where creation began. We're going into that realm where no color, no frequency, no picture can explain who and what God is. Each one of those Hebrew letters are stacked one in the other into your spirit as they've been embedded. So as you see Aleph standing in front of you, and remember, you are the temple, you are the Bet. So I want you to just move closer to Aleph and step through Aleph. And when you step through Aleph, I want you to see the scenery completely change. There is no color, it is darkness. And I want you just to move in there, and I just want you to position yourself in that space. Just take a minute, and that the awareness will be unlocked that you are in that space and that position of where God separated the waters. So just tarry there for a bit. Allow that environment to soak in your spirit. We're first going to engage with the angel of MEM. And there where you are in that space, I want you to picture the Hebrew letter MEM in front of you. And I want to see the angel of MEM standing next. That angel looks like crystal. So in other words, it is the waters in a purified form, like a diamond, like a crystal. It's like nearly like he's see-through. I want you to go to the angel of MEM. I want you to take the scroll of MEM and I want you to plant it in your spirit. I want you to take the key of MEM from him and I want you to step to MEM. I want you to unlock and I want you to walk through that MEM, through that Hebrew letter. Now I want you to, in the back of your mind, hear the water of MEM. There is a peace, yet a chaos to it. There is a tranquility, yet mighty rushing waters. And I want you to step into MEM. When you step into MEM, I want you to feel the water, be it vapor, splashing, however. But as you step into MEM, because the scroll of MEM is now in your spirit and we're going to engage the destiny of MEM. And there where you are positioned in MEM, I just want you to take a minute or two and just soak up the environment and what you are experiencing being in that MEM. In the back of your mind, remind yourself that you are in that place where God separated the waters and you are there in MEM now. Now, what I want you to do in that place and in that environment, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes and ponder on what it is you want to create, because it starts with MEM. It starts with separating the water. So take a minute or two, three, and just think, what is it that you're going to engage with, that you're wanting to create, a circumstance, a situation, or something that needs to gain momentum. And I want you to settle that in your spirit, and then we'll take it from there. I'm going to give you another minute just to settle in your spirit what it is you want to engage with. Okay, there where you are suspended within MEM, I want you to see wisdom coming to you. However you want to picture her, if you've encountered her before. But it's like she just appears through that mist. She is amazing. And there is just a peace and a tranquility with wisdom and a love that is just beyond. And I want you to see wisdom come to you, and she wants to engage with you regarding whatever it is you are wanting to release, wanting to create. So I want you to take just a couple of minutes and be attentive to what she wants to tell you about what you are about to do. If you think of the scripture that wisdom compassed the depths of the waters. So in other words, she is like an architect. She compasses out that which is in your heart so that the waters can be separated and to be brought forth. So take this time, a couple of minutes, and just you and wisdom, and be sensitive as to what it is she's saying or impressing in your spirit, showing you what you're seeing or hear. And I'm just going to give you a moment to engage with that. Be aware of something that she wants to give you. If you think of scripture says that wisdom was with God from the beginning when he created, and she was of the first of his creation. So she was from the beginning there in creating and drafting and releasing. So there's something from her that is going to be released to you so that you can release it into the next. Remember, we're now talking about creating. So you're engaging your position as a king. So this is not the onze Vader that we're busy with. I'm just going to still give you some time. The engagement with wisdom is very important. Okay, now that you've got what you needed to engage with wisdom, I want you to picture that which you are wanting to speak into, to create, to bring forth a situation, a circumstance, whatever it is that you have. You are positioned within MEM, within the water. You are taking up your position as an Elohim. All right? Scripture and over. You are an Elohim as a son of God. So you take up your position as an Elohim, as a king, to create and to release that circumstance to manifest. So I want you to so I'm trying to give you something practical to engage with. I want you to take whatever it is that you are bringing, and I want you to see you position it within the waters. The water is what gives the life. The water is what separates. Within the water is the mysteries, is the secrets of that particular situation. And I want you to speak to the waters within that thing, whatever it is. Let's say I'm just going to use, for example, a healing. And I speak to the waters and I separate the waters of that healing into the upper and to the lower waters. I speak to the upper waters to release the secrets regarding this healing that I want to see manifest. I speak to the mysteries and the lower waters of this healing to manifest within. As I take my position as a king, as a Zayin, I separate the waters to create the vault for this to manifest and to come forth. Right? So you're speaking in to the waters because everything consists of water. You're speaking into that water to manifest and to bring forth that which you are holding, etc. Then you speak into what wisdom told you, whatever wisdom gave you, and you speak and you release it into that healing, whatever it is that you, if it's a scroll that she gave you, you go, you plant that scroll into that situation. You engage the breath of God and you blow the hay over that scroll or situation so that it can get its momentum and movement and embodiment into that blueprint, into that scroll. I want you to visualize that because you are physically blowing, and in the spirit, the breath of God is blowing into that situation to manifest. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to exercise or to do what wisdom gave you and to release it into that situation. What I'm trying to teach you is to engage with those waters to bring forth and to create a circumstance, a situation. When you're going to go into a job situation, whatever it may be, you can speak into the waters, you can separate the waters to create the vault for the destiny and a blueprint to manifest within. So remember, as you do the exercise, you are the connection point as the Vav, as to the above and below. So the vault, and as you are the pillar, you connect what's at the top and what's at the bottom, so that the vault, which is centered in you, that creation can find its expression in and through you. So you're the connection point of what's at the above and what's below, and the expression finds itself in and through you. You release it from your spirit. Because what you're busy doing is you're connecting yourself, body, soul, and spirit, to manifest the creation process. There where you're positioned within the MEM, and you created the space from what's above and what's below. I want you to start visualizing that thing coming together within that space. It's like a blueprint that shines in front of you, and then you see it materially take shape. As you go along, I want to remind you to start practicing the other letters that you've engaged with. So, for instance, when you are busy creating, then you engage your position as a Vav and you connect the above and the below so that it can manifest in and through you. So you're engaging the Kaf as you mirror the glory above and below to mirror and express itself in and through you. As you create, I engage the Lamed to teach me that which I want to manifest. Because remember, Lamed is all about teaching, engaging the above and the below, so that that mystery and revelation will manifest itself in and through you. Will teach you about that thing of the upper and the lower waters that you are creating with your situation to be manifest. You've taken up the Zayin, which is the sword, and you take that authority as a king that you can rule and decree into those circumstances as you engage the breath of God. That thing that you've brought before the Lord, or that you created, you start to breathe the breath of Hay over it as you ignite the blueprint that is embedded within that breath of the situation that you have on your heart. You engage the Gimel, which is standing at the storehouse, which has to deliver from the storehouses of the heavenlies, releasing the camels into those situations to that which you've created, that every circumstance will be provided for. You got the Dalet, and the Dalet is positioned at that situation so that the door is open, so that the gimel can release through the dalet into the situation, that the door will constantly be open and the portal over that circumstance, that the dalet will facilitate an alignment with the manifestation of the heavenlies over that situation. You are the bet, and everything finds its expression in and through you, that God positioned you first before everything else was created, so that everything is manifested in and through you. And you stand right before or after the Aleph, that place where nothing can be manifest, yet it finds its manifestation through you. So I take from what is beyond Aleph and I release it into my situation, as each Hebrew letter is a key and a scroll to engage as I put those Hebrew letters together to manifest creation and the full purpose of that blueprint. So there was a bit of an example for you. So it can go deeper. You can remember different aspects of the Hebrew letters. But so you start to engage each one to create your circumstances. Not everybody might like what I'm saying. Don't care. I'm trying to teach you to operate as a king and as a son and not to be a servant at the table. All right. You're still in MEM. Don't run away. I want you to wisdom, as you stand in MEM, take a key from wisdom and you're going to step into that blueprint and that situation that you've created, and you're going to just push the key into the keyhole of that situation, and I want you to lock it, as to signify that everything that was released, that it is signed and sealed with wisdom, who has compassed onto the depths of that blueprint. And you lock it, and you just see the key disappear into that blueprint. I want you to take all that stuff, whatever it is you were busy with, and I want you to just push it forward. I want you to see you release it into your physical circumstances, into what it is you were speaking into, creating. You release it into the physical realm. And then speak over it. You decree over it, and you speak over it that it is so. Okay, there were you suspended within MEM. Remember I showed you in the picture that the left side of MEM is a Vav. And I just want you to, there standing in MEM, I just want you to breathe in and out, and you soak up everything of MEM. Like in the letter that you form that left part of MEM, I want you to just soak up the Hebrew letter MEM, and it's as if it just seals itself into your spirit, the creation element. If you think of wind, fire, water, and that water is being embedded in your spirit in MEM, I want you to take the key that you got from the angel of MEM, and I want you to just turn it, push that key in your spirit that the access point is forever open and sealed regarding MEM in your spirit. And I want you to breathe in and out, but instead of feeling breath, I want you to feel water. So you're breathing in water, breathing water out, as it's just activating your spirit. I want you to move closer to the cross again. As you see the cross, I want you to see Jesus standing there, and you just melt away into his embrace. And in Jesus, Jesus in you, I want you to step through the cross as you are back into the physical realm. And just to breathe in and out, and to say, welcome home. Alrighty then. I'm going to give an opportunity for those who want to start sharing. And what your experience was, if you want to share what it is you were creating or speaking into, then you're more than welcome to. If it's something that's more private, you don't have to say what it is. But I'm going to open up and you can share.
Is that okay? Can I go? I'm not going to share everything.
Go for it, Jennifer.
Thank you. But I will say that I literally felt the water burning in my nose and my sinuses, and the smell of the water, salt water. But that was really profound and beautiful. It was very personal though. So, but I will say at one point, a lot of it for me this time was just by faith. I kind of saw, but I didn't see exactly what wisdom was giving me or doing or whatever. But I knew she was there and I was there, but I couldn't actually see it so clearly. So anyway, but I just wanted to share that, yeah, I could actually feel the water in my nose. That was interesting. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks for sharing.
I'd like to share.
Go for it, Paula.
I also won't share everything because it was amazing and a lot. But when I was standing in MEM and started, whatever you were saying, I'm like, it was so fast. I'm like, whatever Charlie is saying, I'm into that. Because I'm going to have to go through the recording and actually write it down. But I could see the Vav, me as the Vav, reaching up and grabbing the waters above and pulling it in a line down, and then with the other hand reaching down and from the bottom and like clapping my hands in front of myself, and it exploded when it touched each other, and it made like a diamond, but like kids would draw a diamond, only the four sides. And then I literally saw the cuff. It made a cuff. That diamond made like a water stream cuff from my middle of my stomach going up and coming out of my mouth. And then when I got the, blueprint, it rolled up, went into that stream, through my stomach, up, and it was like I was almost vomiting this massive stream of water into the physical. It was quite amazing. Weird, but amazing.
Awesome stuff, Paula. You just vomit your destiny out.
Amen.
Charles, can you hear me?
Go for it, Miriam.
I'm going to start at the end, in the space before the foundation of the earth. I've had a righteous anger. I've been fielding a lot of unrighteousness in the natural with poor people who are vulnerable. And I ended up being in the time before the foundations of the earth, before God, releasing social justice and righteousness over our nation and over the nations in Africa in a fierce anger. And I want to read Psalm 82 because you were saying we need to stand as the Elohim. And Psalm 82 says, God presides in the great assembly. He renders judgment amongst the gods. How long will you defend the unjust and show partiality to the wicked? Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hands of the wicked. The gods know nothing. They understand nothing. They walk about in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are shaken. I said, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High, but you will die like mere mortals. You will fall like every other ruler. Rise up, O God, judge. Rise up, O God, judge the earth, for all the nations are your inheritance. And there's a lot in that about the sons of God before us, but I declare this Psalm 82, and I declare and I release tonight the social justice, supernatural solutions to the poor and the weak as they are undefended in vulnerable situations. And I was before the Lord. Wisdom was there, and the kindest thing that I just want to share, because there are many of us that we know we sit and we are sons of God, but we see things and we get frustrated. How? And it was wonderful because as I started today, I've been very emotional because I've been fighting a battle for about 9 years now. And the Lord was with me, and as the earth, as I went into the realms, there was a little patch, and the Lord was with me all the time. And whatever we are doing, He is right there with us. And I'm just very grateful for tonight.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Maria. Thank you.
May I share?
Go for it, Sharon.
Thank you. So I was in this desert, and it was pretty hot, like it is here in California, but it was pretty hot. And then I ended up, and I've been here before, in a cave. And in front of this cave was the waterfall, and the waterfall was crystal clear. And I looked down, and it was scary. I felt like that was the chaos when I looked down what it was hitting. And then after I saw that, I saw like a river. Then it calmed down and it floated out. And when I saw this, and when you were talking about the wisdom, God was telling me before you even said that was the top of the MEM was trust me, and then it was like the unknown, and then it was like there was going to be peace by trusting Him. And then when you said push it over. So I took it from the cliff, this cave that I was in, and then I pushed it from the back of the waterfall because I was inside this cave and the waterfall was falling in front. I pushed it out, and then I was like looking. I didn't go down with it, but I pushed what I'm going through right now, and I pushed it out over it, and it hit, and it kind of hurt, but then after the hurt happened, then it was like a peace that happened from that, and then that's what I decreed, and I am confessing that is not the truth of what the hurt is what it's trying to do to me, or what I'm receiving in my heart that it is happening, but I'm just believing and I'm trusting that this is what God is planned for me, is my destiny, is what it happened when I pushed it off the cliff. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm saying all that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you sharing.
Charles, can I share?
Go for it, Shane.
I saw so much, but one of the two things are very interesting. I saw this nose of a dog, and I thought, what on earth is this about? And then Wisdom had a bow and released an arrow, and this arrow went, a golden arrow, and it went far, it went like round the earth. It's been going a long time, and now it's coming back and it's hitting its target. And it's about a promise that was given to me many years ago. And then I saw the dog again. It was bigger. And the name of Caleb means dog. And Caleb was, initially was supposed to go into the promised land, and they were held up for 40 years before he went in. But when they finally went in, he says, I'm strong as I was. Give me that mountain because the giants were there. He wanted to take them. And it's like the Lord said that what the arrow, Wisdom was saying that the arrow is not fallen to the ground. It's still going. The word is still, it will hit the target. And even though it was delayed and held back because of other things, it's God's word, and it released the arrow, and it will hit its right target. And even as Caleb waited the 40 years and then went in and took the land. That's what one of the things that she was speaking to me about.
Okay, wow. And just to think about 40, eh? 40 is the numerical value of MEM. Just remember, also just think about when Moses went up to the mountain, he was there for 40 days and for 40 nights, because up into the mountain before he had to go release or to build the temple or the tabernacle, he engaged the upper waters and the lower waters of who he is as a bet before God released him to go set up the tabernacle. That's why I say engage MEM when you want to create. In your prayer life, engage MEM, because it is in there that God teaches you what you're going to manifest in your purpose. Some of it you might not even can explain, or you might not even be able to explain anything, but it is still your spirit that engages that, and it gets embedded into your spirit, and your spirit man releases it into the circumstances. So the whole Moses scenario and going up into Mount Zion, because remember now, you are always on Mount Zion, and you are the gate of Mount Zion. Next. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on talking.
No, I'm going to come off that mountain, because that's where Wisdom took me. She took me right up to the top of this mountain to look out. It was like this huge window into just the universe, just having a look. So I was breathing water from the beginning in this engagement. So right from when we started breathing, I was breathing water. So when she took me up into that view, she gave me three things. And so the first was twine. And so I just took Vav and I started staking out the ground with this twine. I just knew that it was literally marking out the territory of where this was going to be.
Nice.
And then a huge pendulum is all I can explain it as. It was this huge metal-looking connection higher than I could see and right down into the depths, connecting. I can only imagine the top with the beneath, but it had a big ball at the bottom, so I'm still not sure how that's applicable. And then that became a plumb line. And so I'm still, I don't have revelation on what that's for. I'm marking out, he called it a city of refuge. So it's the marking out of the city of refuge, and that for me, it's very close to where I feel my destiny is leading. So, very, very personal engagement. When Gemmel showed me that there are hidden treasures within the land, and that there is a constant flow of water, this constant flow of stream just bursting forth out of this place as well. So there seemed to be like a starting point of that, and this river was just constantly flowing through. And then if I go back to the beginning, when you asked us to see the separation of the waters, it was like there was a river flowing within water. So there was a different viscosity, it was a different everything. I could literally see the different waters separated, but within water still. So that was just weird. So great. Thank you, Charles.
I want to use Glenda as an example there now. She used the vav to peg down. That is so, so important. You'll often find in the Hebrew Bible, between phrases, you'll find a vav and a vav. And you as a vav is the tent peg of the tabernacle of the presence of God. So by going and pegging down the vavs, she positioned her tabernacle over the situation to manifest the presence of God into the situation. Glenda, I could sommer kiss you from here. Well done. And then everybody was silent. Hey, Marcel.
Yeah, you messed me up, man. It's a lot.
I really do try.
I couldn't, yeah, it's like everybody else. I just couldn't keep up. I just stopped writing. I'm like, stuff this. I'm just going. I'll watch it later. But yeah, I'll just wisdom played a massive part. Wisdom met me even before we went through the cross, and even as we started joining the group, there was just an absolute peace. And as we walked through, she met me on the other side again, so she disappeared and met me again. So she was a big part of all this. The angel gave me a scroll of, it's like a cup, but it was in the shape of a scroll, and I drank the water from that, and opened and went into MEM. Man, there was so much. Okay, as I stepped into, I'm just gonna, bullet points, here we go. As I stepped into MEM, I stepped into the 3 phases of liquid. I stepped onto ice, which had a layer of water, and there was a mist around me. And as I had to form a situation, as I had to create, she spoke to me and said, like a groan, all you require is a simple breath. The breath contains the innermost of your desire. Breathe that, what is within the depth of your heart, out. Let the breeze of the morning wind take that and lock up in the innermost of your heart and bring that to life. So all that I knew I had to do was just stand there and breathe. And as I breathed, because that what was within inside of me, that desire, is just breathed out. And all of a sudden it kind of formed like this little cloud in front of me. That was the physical and the spiritual. I had a real inception moment during this whole ordeal. And I could see the situation in front of me. And we both walked around it. And she looked at me and she said to me, "Are you sure?" Like giving me a chance, you know, the choice. It's like I'm standing in the Garden of Eden, and I said, "Yes, this is," because I know this is the innermost of my heart. And she took it and she formed it into a glass ball and she gave it to me and I pushed it with inside of me. And as I pushed it with inside of me, it is like drinking a big cup of water and you're full with water. And I knew that. Then I knew I had to bring it into the physical. And in front of me, there was a big vault. And I opened the vault. It was a vault/dark room. And I put the ball in, and I knew I had to breathe with inside the breath and close it. And I locked it up. And that was becoming the incubator of that situation. And from the back of the dark room/vault, another projector appeared and projected the whole situation from onto just into the air. And I could see the physical situation. And for me to make that the physical, I could see the outline of the picture. And I literally took my hands in and dragged it and brought it around me. And I physically became into the picture. There was plenty more that happened, but I'll stop there. That was just me in the physical. But one thing that really, when we had to engage the upper waters from the lower waters, when I had that ball, I stood there and I spoke over it. And I spoke the spirit of wisdom from above, the mysteries from above, and the spirit of understanding from below to come together into that situation. The spirit of wisdom is that I don't know of, that I'm going to get. And the spirit of understanding was almost like the physical side of it, of something that I can physically, tangibly know. And I brought those two together to form a new mystery or new mystical understanding, something like that. Yeah, I'll need to go listen to everything again.
Yes. Oh, awesome. Well done. And obviously when wisdom started to speak about your heart or the heart, that's where Lamed comes in, you know, and then you engage Lamed, because Lamed understands the pathways of wisdom, and Lamed has also got to do with your heart, you know. Here we go. Well done, Marceli. Just while Marcel is on, Marcel asked me you can see there behind me the Hebrew letters lying on my carpet. That's my prayer circle. And he's asked, can I mail him, you know, the Hebrew letters that I've got on a PDF. So I'm just busy putting it together. And hopefully next week with the next blog, I'll attach that PDF. So it's just the simple letters so that you can print it out and laminate it if you'd like. And then I know at Daniel's shop that he's got nice letters. If you want colored ones with the I and the ayin and whatever, then you can buy it at the Zoom Zoom shop. Then that will be shipped, obviously. But I'll just attach these things to a PDF on the next blog. All right, we've got about 5 minutes or so left. Is there anybody else who would like to share?
I would like to share.
I don't mind share. Okay, go ahead.
All right, it's Linda. I'm making myself share because I
Go for it,
I was going to
Linda.
try to go before Marcel so I wouldn't be intimidated. What you share, Marcel, is so amazing and has a power of impartation in it. I so appreciate it. And I agree with, I think it was Annette who said, please write it down because I want to capture it. All week I've thought about you meeting the morning breeze. And it's that much closer because you shared it. So anyway, I often feel like what I get is very faint. I feel like such a baby in this, but like what Charles says, even if it's 1% more, trusting it's going into my spirit, and that perhaps if I have the faith to share it, it will gain in substance.
Yes.
And maybe that will encourage others who feel like they don't see in Technicolor 3D like some do in this group. But when we went up, I was before a beach, a huge wide expanse of sea that was just no waves, and it was this beautiful crystalline aquamarine color, and the sand was white and powdery, and I felt like the possibility for everything was in this water. And just to kind of hit just the highlights, that when I engaged with the Spirit of Wisdom, she gave me, I'm not sure what it was. It looked like a scepter, but there was a technology about it that if I put it, if I put it on the water, it would release frequencies to manifest the possibilities that were in the water.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, so I have to explore that further. And I have a question, and maybe it's not to be answered here, especially since we're out of time, and it's maybe a Charles or a Daniel question. I've noticed that many Hebrew words, the derivatives will all be the same letter, except then there's one mem word. And I've always wondered, what is that about mem, that so many Hebrew roots have a mem derivative? So I don't know an answer to that, and maybe I can send an email, but I always felt it was something about the nature of mem.
Because remember, MEM is one of the creation elements, as in wind, fire, and water. So MEM is crucial in many aspects, and MEM also forms part of the foundation of many Hebrew words and letters, you know. So, yeah.
MEM is one of the creation elements.
Yes.
Because it's water.
That's it, yes.
That's all. Thank you.
Alrighty. And 1 minute.
Charles, I just want to say thank you, because this ascension was phenomenal for me, and we don't have time to get into all my details. So, but it brought in other elements of other ascensions to do with what's being manifested through me, and what I held in front of me in MEM, in that space from in between the above and below. So much came forth, so much manifested that I could attainably see and understand. Wisdom gave me such wisdom for the process. I worked with Lamed. I brought Lamed into it because it had to do with learning and teaching, and what's in the Father's heart to be manifested through me, which terrifies me. But after today, I feel like I have a better hold of it after I spoke it out. And a lot of it I did before you had said it again, which had kind of happened in the beginning of my ascensions with you. So that was really neat to have that confirmation and just to solidify it. But I just want to say thank you so much for teaching us how to pray with the letters, because that is so powerful. And it's really helping me a lot. So, and I just loved hearing everyone else's. It's always so profound. Thank you for sharing, everyone, because it really does help all of us to grow.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. It's really awesome. And I want to encourage you. I know for some of us, we're shy and we might feel like our engagement wasn't as awesome as someone else's. But there is something about your confidence and your engagement when you start sharing it. And you'll be surprised what you've encountered, how it blesses someone. Because sometimes what you've said, it blesses someone else more really than you yourself. So I want to encourage you, under no pressure to share, but you know, if you can, and to do so, it really does a lot. And again, I want to encourage you, if you engage this little bit today, it is a little bit that you've never engaged ever before. And that one little block adds to another block, adds to another block, adds to another block. You just keep on engaging. Remember, we are stepping into new realms and dimensions. So your spirit is going where it is, but it hasn't engaged that consciousness or that awareness yet. And we are training our spirit man to operate and live from where we were destined to operate from. So there are new things that you'll engage. There are things that you cannot explain. That is normal. And you just continue to push going forward. If Daniel will share his story, he'll tell you when he started, he also knew that much. But you take one step and you take one step and one step, and you'll see after a year, 2 or 3, you'll look back and you think, man, this is awesome. And you always have to start somewhere. I want to also just mention that we are going a little bit deeper. I am pushing boundaries with you so that we can start implementing the other stuff that we've learned, you know. So I'm moving a little bit on from milk so that we can, you know, start to implement the other stuff that we've done in the blog. So if you are new and maybe it's a little bit over your head, don't let that put you off. Just continue to move forward. I'll continue to try and bring those who are at the back with so that we don't lose anybody. And I'll encourage you, go read the blogs that from the past as well. As we start to put puzzle pieces together, as we move forward, I want us to engage with something that we've done in the past so that you can continue to learn how to operate with the Hebrew letters, how to pray with the Hebrew letters, how to position things, because they're gates and scrolls and keys. Awesome. I love you guys big time. Have a lovely evening. And it's always good to see you guys. You guys impress me big time with the way you engage, with what you share. And I'm really, really, really so proud of you. I really, really am.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Cheryl, I was going to
Blessings.
point out, Cheryl, I forgot to say this, but during the activation, during the thing, there were actually 40 of us on here. And just before we started sharing, someone dropped off.
Yeah, but it jumped up and down. You're quite right. It was 39 and 40, 41, so it kept on hanging around the 40.
Oh wow! Yeah, I
Very
saw it when I saw it was 40, and I thought, oh, that's significant. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Everybody,
Bye.
bye.
Everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
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 See you next week.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Cheryl. Thank you very
Bye.
much for everything.
It's a big pleasure,
Bye,
Volna.
Liana.